Ladies and gentlemen, the game has changed. Upwork has totally revamped its website for 2022, and you need to be ready to win. This tutorial is an up-to-date, step-by-step guide with some really sick pro tips on how to get started and make money online on Upwork.com, the world's largest remote work marketplace. If it ever gets out of date, then I'm gonna record another updated video and I'm gonna link it right here. In this Upwork tutorial, we'll be covering this. We'll also be sharing some tips and tricks from my own personal experience on Upwork so you can avoid the common mistakes, and I'm even going to give you the exact words to use for certain things that you're going to see on Upwork that are going to help you just make so much money so much faster. But before we get started, I'm sure you're wondering, how is this person qualified to tell me about Upwork? I'm Evan Fisher. I'm someone who has been in your shoes before. Remember, I started at $0 on Upwork too. Now through Freelance MVP, I help aspiring freelancers like yourself shorten their Upwork learning curve so that they can massively increase their earnings faster and achieve total work freedom without getting stuck in the race to the bottom. I do this by sharing the tips, tricks, secrets I've learned across the course of years of freelance work with hundreds of Upwork clients. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, even though Upwork and I are pretty good friends at this point, they are not paying me to do this. What? I know, right? Before we get to setting up your Upwork profile, if it's your first time on the channel, then be sure to check the link in the description below for some helpful guides and worksheets to help you get started, because we're gonna be referencing some of them throughout the video. I've included a free checklist covering this process because we're just gonna go super fast, and be sure to download that. I'm probably gonna gloss over a lot and miss a bunch of stuff, but don't worry, I have a ton of videos that go into much more depth on pretty much everything that I'm gonna cover in this video. So if you see a card up in the top right-hand corner, whichever, then that means you probably want to watch this video too, because it's going to be seriously helpful, but I'm not going to really mention them anymore, so just keep an eye out. Your profile is one of the most important aspects of your Upwork account because it's your chance to show potential clients what you can do. The most important parts of your Upwork profile are your headshot, your profile headline, your description, and especially the first 2 lines of that. I'll explain that in a minute. Your reviews, your work examples, and portfolio. Now, pro tip, all of these are really important, but there are really just 2 groups. Headshot, headline, and description are the basic fundamentals, and the 2 that are most likely to win jobs for you versus other people are your reviews and work examples. Before we get into each one, let's talk about how to create a profile that clients are going to love. A big part of your success on Upwork is doing your research. When I started, I spent an entire day looking at what are the most successful freelancers on Upwork and what are they doing well in their profiles that are helping them win jobs. So I decided, hey, guess what? I'm gonna use some of those same principles. No copy pasting though.
Don't copy that, floppy!
One thing I noticed was that they all had extremely well-written profile descriptions that were very persuasive and really speak to their clients' true desires. So if you're looking at getting started with Upwork, spend a fair amount of time looking at other successful freelancer profiles, take specific notes, and learn what has worked for some of the top earners on the platform. I'm trying to help you out here. I created a magic research link. So just click the link in the description below and that Upwork search will already be pre-filled for you. You just need to choose the category that you want to search and it's already set up so that you'll see a lot of the top earning freelancers in whichever category you choose. Now, there's no definitive criteria to exactly who is a successful freelancer, but start by looking at people who have a 98% job success score, that's JSS, and we'll come back to that are top rated or top rated plus or expert vetted, with the last 10 of their jobs all 5-star ratings and all of them over 500,000 in earnings. Now, clearly something is working for them, so take careful note. A pro tip here, as you're going through the profiles of those successful Upwork freelancers, you also want to read their client reviews to learn what prospective clients want to see when they're looking for an Upwork freelancer in that category. What are the skills, experience, work quality, deadlines, what wins? A lot of things are going to make a lot of sense when you put in a little bit of homework. By adding these same elements into your own Upwork profile, you increase the chances that clients are going to notice you when you submit a proposal. Taking a good Upwork profile photo is really simple. Just stand in front of a plain white wall with good lighting, smile, take the picture with a camera phone, and upload that bad boy. Upwork has software that can check if you edited your photo, so don't edit it because you'll have to retake it. I know this because Upwork actually rejected a photo that I edited once to remove the background. So yeah, don't do that. Before we talk about your profile description, just a few quick words on your headline. Your Upwork profile title is a huge part of first impressions, and it's often one of the first things that people are going to notice about your Upwork profile. So make sure that you strike the right balance between explaining what you do and selling yourself at the same time. The best thing that you can do here is just to focus on the result that the client wants to achieve. The more targeted you can be on the results you deliver for clients, the more clients will respond to your Upwork proposals. It's just a natural thing. So here are a couple of examples. In case you're looking at these and thinking, but Evan, how do I come up with my headline? Remember how I told you to look at what's working for other successful freelancers? Here's your structure as a starter. What you do, big results, tech. There are some advanced level tactics on writing targeted profile titles, but until you have a track record of reviews with several Upwork clients, then the advanced strategies, I'm telling you right now, they're not going to work for you. So before we get into reviews, let's talk about your profile description. This section actually deserves its own video, so I did one. Click this card to watch my full profile guide right here. On a basic level, a good profile description includes a brief overview of your skills and experience, the type of work that you're interested in doing, examples of your past work, and certifications, training, and education related to the work that you do. Where most people go wrong with their profiles is because they just write what they're thinking about, or they write about themselves first. You ever see a profile that goes, "Hi, my name is John Smith, and I'm a person who lives in some city, and I do a lot with blah, blah." Like, stop. Don't do that. Make it as focused on the client and their results. Be as detailed as possible, targeted to your niche, and remember, your profile, it's a living thing. Keep your profile up to date as you acquire new skills and experience and improve it regularly. The first two lines of your profile are what the client is going to see first. That is your most valuable real estate. Another pro tip, you can actually copy paste emojis into your Upwork profile description. Use your judgment, be professional, don't go overboard here. Once you have an awesome description, that's going to do wonders for you in getting jobs on Upwork. It's one of your basic requirements for success. But beyond that, your reviews and work examples will win the day for you. Remember, Upwork is a reviews-driven platform, and client feedback is enormously important to your future success. When clients see that the value of your work is proven through a long track record of success with other clients, your chances of winning jobs dramatically increases. But at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, Evan, if client reviews are so important, then how do I get them if I haven't worked with any Upwork clients already? Are you seriously trying to chicken and egg me right now? No, because I am a solution-oriented person and I have a solution for you. If you don't have reviews, get testimonials. Testimonials are different from client reviews. On Upwork, reviews add to your JSS and status. We're talking rising star, top rated plus, and even expert vetted. Reviews can only be given when you complete a job, right? Testimonials, on the other hand, you can get from anyone. You send out a testimonial request, it emails the person and asks them to write something about you, and that is what goes on your profile. Do this right because you really only get one shot. Dear Mike, it would be super helpful if you gave me a testimonial for my Upwork profile. It's totally free and they really helped me to win more work, so it would mean a lot to me. A couple of sentences would be really great. Here are some things that might help jog your memory. And some specific questions in here like these. The best reviews are the ones from people that you know very well and that know you very well. This can make prospective Upwork clients more confident in working with you, and it's almost certain to add value, even if you don't have reviews already. But here's a pro tip that if you get one single thing from this video, it should be this. Reviews are more important to your success on Upwork than money is. Stick around because we're going to talk more about that in a minute, but first we're going to round out our profile by looking at the biggest profile improvement that you can make today, your work examples. If there's one place you should focus your early efforts on that is 100% within your control today, it's on your Upwork work examples. After you get done with the rest of your profile, work examples are where you should spend a lot of time improving what you show on your profile. Use the information that you got from your research on what other successful freelancers are doing to influence what you develop for the work examples section. If you just started your Upwork journey, then aim for 3 work examples. That'll get you started, and that's perfectly fine. A convincing work example is one that a client is going to see and instantly say, "Oh my God, I want that," and send you a project invitation because you just showed them the kind of result that they want to achieve. I cannot stress this enough.
Work examples do so much of the heavy lifting for you on Upwork.
Pro tip number 1, Tag those bad boys. Once you upload work examples into your portfolio, tag them carefully because those tags index into Upwork's search algorithm. Same thing with the descriptions on your work examples. A detailed description helps Upwork's search engine to get to know you better, and that makes you more searchable, which means your face will be more likely to pop up when a client searches for what it is that you do, and we like that. Pro tip number 2, check what your work examples look like using the See Public View button on your profile page. There are multiple work examples you can choose from: gallery, case study, and classic. I suggest classic just to start off with, but tweak this based on what best fits the work that you do by seeing what the client sees with See Public View. Here's a quick lightning round of other things that you need to do once you complete your profile. Tag your profile skills and categories. It's super important for searchability. Make sure you're not listing yourself as entry level. You are not entry level. If you're not an expert, then you're intermediate. But if you're watching this video, then you're the kind of person who should always be seeking to learn and make it your goal to be an actual expert as quickly as possible. Do the Upwork readiness test. It should take you 2 minutes. Just get this done. Get Upwork verified. It's a required process so that Upwork can pay you. It's a quick video call plus submitting your documents. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Do not ignore it. When Upwork sends you a message saying you need to get verified, you need to do it. I ignored this once. I was like, yeah, no, I'll do it next week. Guess what? They suspended my account until I got verified. Don't be stupid like me. Download the apps immediately. Upwork has a time tracking system that screenshots your desktop, which gives you hourly protection. Mega important. You need to download it ASAP. You also want the mobile app so that you can get notifications and send messages to clients when you need. There's more that you can do with the apps, but to be honest, I just search for jobs, respond to clients, and do most of my main Upwork stuff using the desktop web browser on Upwork.com. Freelancer Plus. It's Upwork's premium membership, and it gives you 80 connects a month. And at 15 cents a connect, that's about $12 worth of value already. So I think it's pretty worth it if you're using your connects. You also get a custom profile URL, and you can keep your earnings private. By the way, not recommended. Don't do that. You can also see the bid range on jobs. I don't know if it affects your algorithm ranking with Upwork, but I assume that it does. So I personally keep it and recommend that if you can afford it, then probably get it. Click on your profile picture in the top right-hand corner, go to notification settings. Just turn all of your notification settings on at first, and you can turn things off as you go along. The simplest way to find work on Upwork is by browsing through jobs listed in its vast marketplace, meaning browse Upwork categories, then use search terms to search for jobs that keep on popping up that you like. Upwork has hundreds of thousands of active listings and new job postings added daily, so it's easy for freelancers to expand their client base and grow their Upwork income by just tapping into this massive and expanding pool of opportunities. Start by browsing Upwork jobs. Click into the categories and just go down the list. You're looking for what can you do? What can you do that you would be really, really good at, that you like to do, or are naturally predisposed to do, or that are genuinely passionate about? Look for things that seem like lots of clients are making postings for similar jobs. The more specialized you can get, the better. Browse a few categories and just note down things that could be a pretty good fit for you. There will be some trial and error in the beginning, so feel free to try different things. You can specialize later on once you find out what really works for you. For now, we're just trying to figure out what you could do. Once you've spent an hour or two browsing jobs, then we start searching. You'll search specific search terms that keep popping up on the jobs that looked interesting to you. Play around with some of the search filters and note the job volume in that category. Some things that you want to write down are number of entry-level jobs for that search term, number of intermediate-level jobs for that search term, and the number of all jobs in your country versus outside of your country for that given search term. When you're just getting started on Upwork, pay attention to the hourly jobs that seem really small, the ones that won't take too long to deliver. Don't do fixed price contracts until you really get a good feel for the platform and you know exactly how long a given project is going to take for you to complete. Especially in the beginning, it's super important to only take on jobs that you know that you can deliver really excellent work on. And as long as you can deliver awesome results, then those can actually be really quick wins that are fantastic review builders for you. Also, set up your saved searches. If you haven't seen my video on how to do that, then check that out because it's going to be super helpful for you. Before we get into tips for getting hired, a quick word about raising your hourly rate. You might be sitting there saying, Evan, by doing smaller or lower price jobs in the beginning, aren't clients at some point going to push back on my rate when I start to raise it and tell me something like, oh, but you did it for this much before. Why can't you give me the same rate? Let me let you in on a little secret. Yes, they are. And there will always be people like that. You will never get away from that. I still have some of those same people approaching me. I just have gotten a little bit better at filtering for that. Here's the thing though. The person who asks you why your rate is $10 an hour higher than it was on your last 5-star job, or asks you why you won't do it for the old hourly rate, look at the feedback that they've given to other freelancers in the past. I will bet you, odds are that they are shopping on the basis of price and not on quality. And quality is what you deliver, not the lowest price. In my experience, clients that push back on rates are the same ones who will give you below 5-star ratings, and those are not your clients. So with that in mind, here's a pro tip. Stand behind the value of the work that you deliver and keep improving on the quality of your work such that anytime you raise your rate, you are doing it for a reason, because it's justified by the increased value that you deliver, and you are worth every single cent. Because pro tip number 2 on raising your rates goes like this. 5-star reviews are worth their weight in gold. We take small jobs because we're establishing a track record of reviews, and you don't want it to take forever before you can raise your rates. 5-star reviews are the gateway to higher earnings. It doesn't matter the amount of the job. A 5-star review shows that you can be trusted to do what you said you would, on time and excellent. And that reputation is priceless. Change my mind in the comments section below. Here's a few tips for getting hired on Upwork. When you're sending proposals, take your time and write a thoughtful cover letter. Once you've found a job that interests you, be sure to read the job posting carefully and make sure that you understand the Upwork client's requirements before you submit a proposal. It's also important to tailor your Upwork proposal to each individual client, highlighting how your skills and experience make you the perfect fit for the job. Remember, clients can tell if you copy pasted your proposal, and spoiler alert, they don't like that. Speed is critical. If you're the first person to respond to a job that was just posted, then that client might even still be online. You might get hired right then and there if you're a good fit. Try and check new job postings regularly and get quick at applying to good jobs. Bang, hit that video too. Mistake number 3, keep applying to old jobs. We just said that speed is critical. For now, don't waste your Upwork Connects on applying to jobs older than a day, maximum 2. Use them on jobs posted in the last few hours or even in the last few minutes. Number 2 mistake, anything on this list. These are actually against Upwork's rules. Your future earnings are at stake, so if you're planning on making hundreds of thousands of dollars, then don't do that stuff ever. As long as you don't do any of those things, you're already ahead of the game. And the number 1 mistake, billing using manual time. I made this mistake over and over in my first 2 years on Upwork. When you don't track time on hourly contracts using the desktop app, and instead you log it as manual time, you are not guaranteed to get paid. You do not have hourly payment protection. So don't log manual time unless it's very minimal and for a very good reason. Because if your client's credit card gets declined and they don't feel like paying, you won't earn money for the time that you spent. That has happened to me multiple times. Please don't do it. Best way to ensure that that's not a problem, track all of your time using the desktop app's time tracker and regularly update your time tracker notes. And if you have a job that you think is going to require you to bill manual time, then here are the words to use to let your client know before you accept the Upwork job offer. Hey Mike, just a heads up that I do a fair amount of pen and paper work that I will not be able to track using Upwork's time tracker. Just wanted to make sure that this was clear in advance, since I may need to add some manual time every now and then. All good with that? The list I just shared and the manual time issue that we just went through are both things that are in the text that on Upwork, some people just click OK and don't read. Pro tip, stop and read those pop-up boxes, because one day they're going to save you from losing hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Did I mention that your job success score and reviews are mega important? Your job success score is a weighted average of what clients rated you on a scale of 1 to 10. A consistently high JSS unlocks rising star, top rated, and top rated plus, and even unlocks eventually expert vetted. These are all Upwork status levels that you want to achieve because you'll be more likely to be hired. Reviews are client feedback which show up on your profile after you end a contract with a client. You get an average number of stars out of 5 based on a number of categories. Not only will clients avoid you if you have a very low JSS or bad work reviews, the best clients will actually archive your proposals because there are so many people out there who do have a higher JSS or do have awesome reviews. And you want to be one of those people with a super JSS and all 5-star reviews. So do everything you can within reason to ensure that you are getting 10 out of 10 and 5-star reviews across the board every time you take on a job. Be responsive, proactive, and professional. This means replying to messages promptly, submitting proposals that are well written and tailored to the client, and following up with clients regularly throughout the project. You might want to bias a little bit towards like over communicating in the beginning. A good rule of thumb is that a client should know what you did yesterday, what you're doing today, and what you're going to do tomorrow. Have a goal and a strategy. My goal when I started on Upwork was to be the best in the world in my niche. So when I was doing my research, I found the #1 highest earning person in the world in my space and said, one day I'll do better than them. That's not everyone's goal though, and I'm conscious of that, including some of the people who are watching this video. You need to do what you want to do. So think about what motivates you. What kind of work would make you the happiest to do? What are you passionate about? Do you even want to go full-time freelance, or do you want to keep this as like a side gig? If you don't know where you're going, then you're never going to get there. But if you not only have a goal, but also a strategy, then all it takes is persistence and consistency to get there. Before I give you a bunch of free stuff, here's the fun part. I'm going to show you exactly how I analyze a job and figure out whether or not I want to actually apply to it. When we talk about price, I'm actually going to surprise you. No, seriously though. I'm going to go through the basics of this part really quickly, and I have a much more involved course on this that covers both your profile and proposals, and that's on the link in the description below. Okay, so here's how I analyze if a job is good. Job level. It gives you an idea for what kind of budget they're looking to spend and how important the job is to them. If you're first starting out, then probably just stick to intermediate until you get a little bit more comfortable with expert level work. What's the deliverable, and does that fit within what it is that I actually do? Then I look at what are their expectations. You generally find this in the description, like, do we know what their timeline is, and do we know if they have a hard budget? Because both are really, really important factors. Because if it takes me like 2 weeks to deliver work, but they need the thing like 24 hours from now, then it's gonna be a total like non-starter for this project, not even worth it, right? I like to meet with my clients both before and during a project. And the hours that I keep are pretty early and pretty late, but there is a time zone factor here. For example, I know Australia it's always hard, guys. Like, I love you and I love working together, but it's so hard with the time zone. So if it's Australia, then I'm probably not going to look at it further. Has the client been through the Upwork payment verification process? If not, hourly payment protection does not apply to you. Be careful. You should probably avoid unverified payment clients in the beginning. The next, and this is where we start to get into some really important stuff, I'm looking at what does the client's feedback score look like? What are they also rating their previous freelancers? This is mega important because what somebody has done in the past, odds are they're probably going to do into the future. And if they're repeatedly giving people sub 5-star reviews, then you know what you're going to expect out of that person. Next, I look at what's their total client spend versus how much I charge. For example, if you are like a web developer and your rate for a given project is going to be 20 grand, and this client has spent $1,000 total on Upwork at an average rate of $5 an hour, then how is there going to be a fit there? Now, it really depends, and that's kind of a soft factor, but something to bear in mind. You also want to look at the total value of the previous jobs that this client has contracted, because that's really important too. For example, yeah, they might have only spent 15 grand on Upwork, but if they paid all of that 15 grand to one single person, alrighty then, now that's interesting, right? On the skills and expertise tags, they're always wrong. They're like auto-generated, so I always ignore them. Hourly range. Here is where I'm going to surprise you. I actually ignore this because in the client experience on Upwork, clients get auto-suggested a rate range, and 9 times out of 10, they just choose the default, even if they're more than willing to pay like some higher price. So I would say like, just ignore it and just charge what you're gonna charge. Same thing goes for the bid range. It's good to know what other people are bidding, but you're gonna charge what you're gonna charge, and that's that. Pro tip, if you are at $30 an hour and you wanna win work at $40 an hour, then change the rate that you have listed on your profile before you start submitting job proposals to clients using that higher rate. Trust me, do it. You will thank me later. Coming back to it, look at the number of invites sent. If they sent like 20 invites, then it means that they're probably throwing darts like all over. Forget it, not applying. If there's like 1 or 2 though, then it's probably fine. On the total number of proposals that have already been submitted, the best is gonna be less than 5, but realistically you should still apply if there are 10 proposals or fewer on that job. Now, if it's a super awesome fit, then me personally, I don't care. There could be over 100 applicants, but if the job is less than a day old, then I'm still applying because that client probably still hasn't found the right fit. I think that that might be a useful thing, just for you to know. By the way, you got to check out this video to understand how to apply like an absolute champion. So I'm gonna pause right here and say, if you thought that this part of the video was awesome, then just drop a like on the video and ask your #1 question about Upwork in the comment section down below. If you skipped any chapters up to this point, or you need to review something, then just go back to the parts of the video where you think you might not have fully gotten it. Remember those little cards in the top right-hand corner that I mentioned? That's where you're gonna get a deeper dive on any one of the topics that we cover in that section of this video. If you're serious about doing awesome work with great clients and never having a boss again, then subscribe to the channel and listen very closely, because this rabbit hole, it goes deep, baby. See you in the next one.